DLF's legal troubles continue. The Competition Commission of India has ordered a fresh probe against one of DLF's group companies for allegedly abusing its dominant position by imposing unfair and unreasonable clauses in agreements with buyers for one of its commercial projects in Gurgaon.
We have ordered an investigation, so we'll see what comes out from that.
This comes close on the heels of the Competition Appellate Tribunal, or the COMPAT, upholding a 630 crore rupee penalty against DLF for misusing its dominance, again in Gurgaon, but for residential projects. The latest investigation has been authorized by the CCI after receiving complaints from buyers that the realty firm's group company, DLF Universal, had signed anti-competitive buyer agreements for its commercial office space, the Corporate Greens. The probe report has to be submitted in 60 days. After looking into the complaint, the CCI, in an 11-page order on June 23rd, said, and I quote, "The prima facie opinion is that despite the presence of other developers in commercial real estate space in Gurgaon, such as MRMGF Land, Unitech, Space Towers, Vartika, Best Tech Indian, JMD, DLF Group appears to be dominant in the relevant market. Having examined the clauses of the agreement, it appears that some of them are unilateral, one-sided and loaded in favor of the opposite party, that is DLF Universal," unquote. A few of the clauses that CCI has prima facie objections to include: while the buyer is required to pay an interest of 15 to 18% per annum for any delayed payment, there is no provision for DLF to make an adequate compensation in case it fails to deliver the project within the stipulated time. DLF can alter the building plan without the consent of buyers. DLF can unilaterally abandon the project without giving any reason to the buyers. But its liability is limited to refunding the deposited money with 9% simple interest. Legal experts point out these clauses prima facie appear to be similar to those DLF had signed with its home buyers, and for which it has been penalized 630 crore rupees by the CCI.
When a regulator takes an action against some company, others who feel that they are aggrieved from the actions of other similar enterprises, they are bound to come.
DLF on its part is finalizing its appeal at the Supreme Court. Sources say the realty firm will again argue that the CCI has no basis to look into the case as it's beyond its domain. DLF is expected to argue in Supreme Court that the COMPAT has itself conceded it cannot modify or consider clauses of the buyer agreements as they were signed in 2006, 2007 and preceded the Competition Act that came into its current form much later in May 2009. So DLF is likely to question how CCI can in the first place impose a penalty if it can't even consider the clauses which form the basis of that 630 crore rupee penalty. Let's now head down south. Builders are threatening to halt construction of almost 600 projects if the state governments do not intervene and reverse a 25% cement price hike. Industry body CREDI says, unlike the north, builders in South India do not have provisions in their buyer agreements to pass on higher input costs to consumers. Purnima Murli reports that consumers may be left holding the short end of the stick if developers indeed put their tools down.
I'm here in the heart of Chennai, where big blocks of residential development are coming up. But the construction of all these projects may soon come to a grinding halt. Real estate developers are threatening to go on a tools down strike from the 7th of July if the state government does not intervene to rein in prices of cement. CREDI, the umbrella association of real estate developers, describes a recent 25% hike in cement prices as a body blow and says it is impossible to absorb this higher cost when the property market is in the midst of one of the worst ever down cycles. While cement prices have increased from 255 rupees to 325 rupees a bag over the last month in South India, the developer fraternity expects its inflationary impact to be in the range of 70 rupees to as high as 200 rupees per square foot.
Once the agreement is signed with the customer, it's a fixed price. We can't go back to the customer and ask for price revision at any point of time, and there is no such clause which is available in any of the agreement, at least in the southern states. This contributes a huge, sharp price increase in the end product, which will take the price at least not less than 200-300 rupees a square foot more.
Around 12th of this particular month, the price of cement in south of India has gone up by 25%. In Tamil Nadu, the increase in price for the wholesale, that is the bulk purchases, is something in the region of about 60 rupees per bag of cement. This is translating into a direct price increase in the cost of construction, direct construction cost, something like about 45 rupees. And if I have to take an indirect cost, that is the cost of cement blocks which are being made, the cement pipes, the compound wall, the roads, and other places where the cement is being consumed, it will be in excess of 60 to 70 rupees per square feet.
CREDAI says the proposed strike in South India could hit 600 projects worth a whopping 1 lakh crore rupees. Calling for state government's intervention, builders warn over 1 lakh jobs hang in the balance. And it's just not real estate developments at stake. The growing concern is large infrastructure projects like the metro and the monorail in Chennai could also get derailed.
We understand the difficulties of stopping the work or difficulties of not buying the cement. See, it directly put pressure on delivery of the project. It directly put pressure on the people working, the skilled and unskilled. The second largest employer is real estate industry. And imagine so many people will not have job.
Developers are red flagging this issue at a time their balance sheets have been feeling the strain of a reality slowdown.
Developers have also been facing and been seeing a downward trend in sales, and we have seen that the market has bottomed out last month. So, and now that the new government has come, and this one the things were looking up, and we are seeing very good sales. At this point of time, if there is such a steep increase in one particular commodity and the cascading impact of that, tomorrow if we have to increase the prices, then other manufacturers, all other people will be increasing the price. We will be seeing inflation again of 11% and 12%.
Realtors are now considering options like importing cheaper cement to cushion the blow. But they are apprehensive about the time lost in transportation.
We are also exploring the option of getting imported cement, how much time it is going to take, what is going to be the prices. We'll have to seek any dispensation from the government. We will be trying to study that because we are at a fringe of the country, so we are not somewhere in the top, and we are surrounded by the sea on all the three sides. So nearest country is Sri Lanka, which probably also doesn't have too much of cement. So we are looking at cement to come. Pakistan seems to be the choice, but it takes about 2 weeks for the cement to come from there.
So where does all this leave the consumer? Is it fair for home buyers to suffer if the builders do go ahead with the extreme measure of halting construction in a bid to protect their margins? In Chennai, Purnima Murli.
Well, let's see if state governments give in to the builders' demand. Now let's head across to Mumbai, and there's a new twist in the auction of this iconic 50-year-old bungalow, the Mehrangir, where the father of India's atomic energy program, Dr. Homi Bhabha, once resided. 5 days after this property went under the hammer for a jaw-dropping 372 crore rupees, the Department of Atomic Energy has informed the Bombay High Court the Prime Minister is exploring the possibility of maintaining the bungalow as a monument in honor of Homi Bhabha. This sprawling colonial bungalow in South Bombay's posh Malabar Hills had been bagged by Jamshed Godrej's sister, Smita Krishna, for a staggering 2.18 lakh rupees per square foot. The public auction by the National Centre for Performing Arts of the NCPA had taken place in face of protests and demands for converting the Mehrangir into a memorial and museum in honor of Dr. Homi Bhabha. Many employees of the Bhabha Atomic Research Centre are pinning their hopes on the PIL they have filed at the Bombay High Court. The High Court had never stayed the auction, and the next hearing is scheduled for June 30th. After the death of Homi Bhabha in 1966, his brother Jamshed became the custodian of the Bhabha estate. Jamshed Bhabha had built the property along with furniture, paintings and jewellery to the NCPA. And on that note, we're going to slip into a short break. On the other side, we put the spotlight on the Phoenix Mills' new retail-cum-office project. Stay tuned.